Drafting a paragraph about my expert group's country, Grade 3, Module 1, Unit 2, Lesson 8. Hello, students. What are we learning and doing today? Let's continue to analyze the model paragraph about Kenya, specifically focusing on the body and conclusion sentences. You will use these observations to plan your paragraph. You will also use your note catcher to write a draft of your paragraph. Your learning targets. I can identify the characteristics of the body and conclusion sentences in an informative paragraph. I can draft an informative paragraph that has a clearly stated focus and uses facts, definitions, and details from the text to explain my ideas. All right, so what is our task? What do you think you are being asked to do? And what is the purpose of the paragraph we will be writing? So think about those things. So your task is going to be to write a paragraph. And the purpose of your paragraphs we'll be writing is informative. So you will be informing your reader about the challenges your expert group's country has faced and how they overcome them. And this slide is available that you can go back to the text for your writing or at any point that you need to reference. All right, analyzing a model. Yesterday, we took a look at the introduction sentence, which is Kenya is a country in East Africa with a desert in the northern part of the country. We talked about how it provides detail of the topic, which is Kenya, where it is located, which is in East Africa, and a geographical feature that aids in some of the challenges for the people of Kenya, and that is that it's a desert. So your introduction sentence that you should have started with yesterday should have to have background information for your reader. Then we took a look at the focus statement. Getting books to children in the desert can be challenging, but Kenyan libraries have found a way to overcome this challenge. We all wrote our focus statement yesterday. All right, the next sentence we're going to look at is this one. It says, in some parts of Kenya, sand covers the roads and makes it hard for cars to get through. All right, so this is now going into the body of the paragraph. What is the purpose of this sentence? What is it telling the reader? So this sentence is telling the reader what the challenge is. So, sand covers the roads and makes it hard for cars to get through. So this is cluing the reader into what the challenge is, which is the purpose of this paragraph. In a paragraph, if you are talking about how somebody has overcome a challenge, you need to detail what that challenge is first before you get into how they are able to overcome it. All right, so then the next part is librarians in Kenya use camels instead. The camels can carry heavy loads like the books and a tent used to make a library roof. They don't need much water and can walk easily through the desert sand. The librarian and camels come every 2 weeks when children can trade their books for new ones. What is the purpose of these couple of sentences? Purpose here is to discuss how they overcame the challenge. So we only really needed one sentence to describe what the challenge was. Then here we have lots of details straight from the text that describe how they overcame it. So yes, librarians in Kenya use camels instead. That is the main idea of how they overcame the challenge. But then we went on to describe all the details to help your understanding of how they use camels. And we're talking about it carrying heavy loads, books and tents, that they don't need much water, why they're used, because they can walk through the desert sand, when they come. It gives you some extra information on how they overcame that challenge. All right, and then finally, this sentence says, "The children treasure the books the librarian and the camels bring to their home in the desert." What is the purpose of this sentence? Purpose of this sentence is, one, it's the last sentence. It's the concluding sentence. It brings everything together. It is a statement that ends the paragraph. It sums it up and leaves the reader without any loose ends or loose feelings, and is direct. So the children treasure the books the librarian and the camels bring to their home in the desert. All right, so when you're writing an informational text, they are clearly presented and easy to understand. They introduce the topic with a focus statement, develop the topic with evidence such as facts and details. That is what we're doing today. And end with a concluding statement or section. Group related information together to explain a main idea. All right, so now what you're going to do in this first part, you're going to have a couple of tasks. Your first part is you're going to go back to the note catcher that you did yesterday. You're going to underline in yellow, blue, and green the information that you will include in your body and conclusion sentences. So in yellow, you are going to, that is going to be the information where you are stating the challenge. You're going to find that here in the challenge section. Blue is going to be your body sentences. This is how your country overcame those challenges. So how the challenge is overcome, that's going to be over here with blue. If you only have one detail or just write that there were camels, you may need to go back in the text and add more, okay? And then green is the conclusion. You can generally find the conclusion sentence down here. The importance of the library is a good way to sum up the challenge, how it's overcome, and conclude your paragraph. Now, the way that you are going to underline is this, or I should say highlights. So when you get here, okay, when you find parts of the text that you want to highlight, so the challenge is going to be yellow because that's where you're going to state the challenge. You're going to select it. You're going to click this highlighter and you're going to pick your color. Okay. How the challenge is overcome. This part is your body paragraph. You're going to come here for highlight, and that's going to be in blue. And then the importance of the library, where you're going to have your conclusion statement, is going to be in green. Now, make sure you are highlighting that information in the colors that I have specified, and make sure you have enough in this column that you are able to write a body paragraph with a couple of sentences. It should say more than just they overcame the challenge with camels. What else about that? What are some specific details? All right. And when you finish that, you are going to be drafting your informative paragraph. So how will you organize your paragraph? One, you're going to have your introduction sentence, okay? This is going to be how you give that background information about your country and a geographical challenge or a geographical feature that is part of the reason they have challenges. Two, your focus statement. Your focus statement can be found right here. We wrote our focus statement yesterday, okay? Then you're going to write your focus statement. Then the next piece is your body sentences, okay? So you are going to have state your challenge, and then in the blue, You are then going to be writing about the ways that they overcame them with details specifically from the text. And then 4, you're going to have your conclusion sentence. To draft your paragraph, you're going to click here on Google Classroom, which is going to take you here. And you're just going to click on informational paragraph. It is a blank document, and you are going to begin typing. Do not forget to use your note catcher because that's where you have all your information, and you're going to have it color coded so you know what to include where. All right. So, when you finish, did you meet your goal of being able to draft an informative paragraph that has a clearly stated focus and uses facts, definitions, and details from the text to explain my ideas? So, think about whether or not you were successful in your goal today.